Hey, GM, happy. Jeez, what day is it? Tuesday. Taco Tequila Tuesday. Sorry, run a little late. Gonna have to talk fast today. Had a little bit of a problem with my computer. Had to restart everything. Lost about 20 minutes. Let me check over here on X real quick. Make sure we're live. Looks like we are. Turn the sound down. Okay, GM, welcome everyone. Welcome to the daily opening bell crypto. So, like I say, running a little bit behind schedule. I'll have a little less time. We'll just have to go faster, a little faster. Lots going on today. Lots going on this week. Not crazy big stuff, but so like I say, some things are happening. So let's get into it. First off, bell market just opened. I like to try and get here 15 to 30 minutes before the market opens, but let's have a quick look. Futures were looking slightly positive. Yep, it looks like the NASDAQ here. Let me get rid of my little picture down there. Okay, it looks like the NASDAQ positive 0.16. Look at the so welcome everyone. Crypto Bull Ron here. I've been in crypto for 15 years. Coming here to try and bring you the news that's affecting the crypto markets, whether it be macro, financial, or anything else, political. And our goal here with this show, I've been doing a similar show. I still continue to do the GM Bitcoin morning space on X. Been doing that for 4 years. The goal's always been to kind of, I've been up at this point for 5-6 hours, and for my day job, which is running a crypto fund. So I just want to kind of help save you some time, bring you a little kind of condense it in. So whether you're listening live or listen to it an hour or two, kind of know what's going on today. So we're streaming live on YouTube, Rumble, and X, and hopefully soon to be on TikTok as well. But the Dow Jones, positive 0.07. I'll call that flat. It's about as flat as you can get. And like I said, I've been in crypto for 15 years. Bought my first stock when I was 5 and did take my .com company public. It was actually a couple weeks before Amazon went public, but obviously we didn't do as well as Amazon, unfortunately, or I'd be coming to you from a $500 million yacht. But anyway, S&P 0.08. So yeah, I would call this pretty flat, pretty flat. Let's see how crypto's handling the news. Over here, we've got Bitcoin up 0.6 for the day. We're sitting at 69,290, up 0.7. Here, not a bad day, pretty solid. Ethereum 2032. I can't even believe it, saying $2,000 Ethereum, but it's up 0.5 for the day, 0.9 for the hour. Like I said, I'm going to speak a little quicker today because I do have a hard stop at the top hour with my other show coming up. Anyway, GM, welcome everybody. Hopefully everyone's having a decent day, and we're having tacos, not tequila. XRP for our XRP fam out there. Just about flat as well. Down 0.2 for the day, up 0.2 for the hour. BNB, the Binance blockchain, we're sitting at 624.91, down 0.4 for the day, 0.2 for the hour. And last but not least here, Solana, we've got 84.49, 0 for the day, 0 for the hour. So let's jump into some of the news and whatnot affecting the market. I would say a flat day. GM Bull Collector, GM, how's DRB looking? Just starting to look. Debt relief bot. I like it. I'm gonna do a show on it, to be honest with you. I am gonna do a show specifically on DRB, like a content so people can look at it. I'm liking what I'm seeing. When I last checked it, it was around 7 million market cap. Don't know what it is. Let's see if it's on Crypto Bubbles here. Let's see what it talks about here. Interrupt the show. There it is. Debt relief bot. Oh, wow. Geez, oh. No wonder you mentioned. Holy crap. Up 4.4%, 17 million. Yeah, it's added 10 million since I started watching it a week or two ago. Wow, must be some big news. We'll have to get into that. Wow, very, very big news. Very big, very impressive. Okay, let's get back to our top 100. It'll start breaking into the news. So thank you, Bull Lecter, for pointing out. Debt relief bot, AI created with some of these AI agents. So pretty impressive. Like I said, we'll hit the news pretty quick today, but we've got billionaire Bill Miller the fourth. He's from Miller Value Partners. His father famously outperformed the S&P for like 50. But he's in here. He says the bottom's in here in this little clip. He basically on CNBC, I believe yesterday, he says basically he says thesis twofold. Number one, that he believes because that's kind of about the cost for miners to create a Bitcoin. That's one of his thoughts. The other one is just the money supply, all the money, all the liquidity the Fed's pumping in to the market. He's calling a bottom. That doesn't mean we won't go a little bit lower, but he's calling bottom. So for what that's worth, fear and greed right now down a little from yesterday, 9. It was, we dropped all the way to 5, which we reported yesterday on the daily opening bell crypto show that was kind of historically low, but jumped up to, I think, 14, 15, 14, I think yesterday, back down to 9. Look, be fearful when others are greedy, and be greedy when others are fearful. Take that for what it's worth. I believe that it's time to start getting greedy when it comes to Bitcoin and quality projects. Zuckerberg, if you saw this, Zuckerberg buys $150 million mansion. So the Meta CEO's purchase on exclusive Indian Creek Island, home to Jeff Bezos, Tom Brady, and Ivanka Trump, comes as California's 2026 billionaire tax looms, a ballot measure for a 5% one-time tax on residents. So stupid, right? I guess Newsom's against it because he sees, I guess Larry Page recently bought $190 million and Sergey Brin's bought a mansion. Moth, one of my favorite guys in all of finance, said with Zuck's move to Florida, California's total taxable wealth billionaires plummeted to well under 1 trillion from 2 trillion just a few weeks ago. The loss of this revenue was totally avoidable. It's now forever, all because Gavin Newsom stood motionless as this stupidity, went forward. So, man, how dumb. Money goes where it's treated best. So when you start penalizing people, you're going to do it well for billionaires. Dumbest thing I've ever heard. Anyway, welcome to Miami for our guy Zuck. Anyway, it's so funny because he's so pro. In the past, he's been so pro. I guess you have to kind of be practical, but he's been very pro to some of these policies, and here he is leaving. So the big money isn't going to wait, right? Same's going to happen in New York with their mayor. Just going to, do dumb stuff and win play stupid games, win stupid prizes or whatever. Imagine that they're taxable. Those people are leaving. $1 trillion just left California, man. Don't want to dwell on that too much, but not smart. We talked yesterday. SpaceX shifts focus to Moon City. He believes he can have it fully functional, sustainable in under 10 years. So, pretty cool. And you see him, Elon said, for those unaware, SpaceX has already shifted focus to building a self-growing city to the moon. We can potentially achieve this in less than 10 years, whereas Mars would take 20 years. So they're not going to not do the Mars thing, but they're going to hit the moon first. So love it. Let's see what happened. I think this is my thing about, there it is. Peter Schiff, this is for new people. Don't follow this guy. Really smart guy, to be honest with you. Really knows his precious metals and things like that. but he missed out. He got told about Bitcoin was like 8, 10, $12. I don't remember exactly. And he's been a little salty ever since. Plus, he likes the engagement farm with it. He just said that, it's going to all, 126 was the high of Bitcoin. He doesn't believe it, but he says it. In my opinion, he misleads all his followers. I will say, do not put any weight on what Peter Schiff says about Bitcoin. Definitely a joke there. Grok growing fast, 30 million monthly visits on the web. Basically, I saw the numbers. I don't remember exactly what they were, but I believe it's now the number 3 in its class. And I think it's like the 37th or 62nd most visited website in the world. So people are using it to make little videos. I do it a lot. I do it to make the thumbnails for this show. But anyway, shout out to Grok AI. In my GM Bitcoin morning show, we have AI and RWA, real world assets, in other words, tokenization. We have both those in the title, and there's something we talk about. They're neat niches, right? Let me talk about another niche here. Got some news on poly markets, but definitely AI is one of them, and how to invest in those. What are some ways you can play that game? Okay, speaking of that, we have a gentleman who often speaker, the Hoff 21 milli, big time guy in the traditional wealth management world, also quite an entrepreneur. A year and a half at least ago, because we have AI and we've been talking about AI on the show now. He came up to us and he said, it's all about, it's going to be about power. How do you play it? Data centers and power, and even hinted at nuclear and other things. So that was a year and a half, 2 years ago. But now we see that that's come true. Elon said chips aren't the problem anymore. Power is. So AI outruns the grid by 2026. Electricity becomes the bottleneck. So think about that. If you're looking, listen, I've said it a bunch of times. I believe AI is the biggest opportunity. Anyone listening to this right now, whether it's live or on replay, AI, blockchain are the two biggest disruptive technologies you'll probably ever see in your life. Could be wrong, right? Because technology, helps spawn other technology. But two of the biggest, looking back, we had the computers, then we had the home computers, then we had the internet. Now we have blockchain, AI, maybe you could say robotics, all happening at once. So I think in this situation, you need to look, how do you play that? How do you capitalize on it in a diversified portfolio? Definitely, this is one area you need to look at is power, especially nuclear, because there's no way we're going to be able to do this without nuclear. So anyway, very, very interesting. Like I say, we've been talking about this now for a couple of years. Like I say, it's not just myself. I've been in crypto for 15 years. I have been bought my first stock in, I don't know if I was 5 or 6. I was in first grade, however old you are in first grade. Back then it was crazy. You had to order them. You looked at them in the newspaper. There was no internet, and you had to order them, and they'd send you the certificates. So I don't even remember what I bought, but we just got on there and bought whatever probably sounded good to us. Or I remember the advice we got is something that you like, something you're going to use. Of course, today I would say that's Costco and a few of these other things, but good advice. Buy what you know, buy what you like. But anyway, power's a big thing. Now, concerningly, I also saw this news today. Nope, this is not it. Let's see. Okay, maybe I didn't put it right next to it, or maybe I didn't pull it up. But it was from Unusual Whales, and they were basically saying that 6 states are starting to limit data center constructions, and New York had put a 5-year moratorium on them. So what we have is they're obviously worried about their electricity grid getting overwhelmed, right? So something to think about, maybe power grids, electrical companies as well. But those states are obviously concerned about and could certainly be problematic. So Once again, possible opportunity for us, possible concerns if, something to put in the back of your mind if you live in those places or if you're investing in companies that are there. We've got to go where the cheap power is. Like I say, probably going to see an influx of nuclear and different things like that. But FYI, this I may still have that article somewhere. We'll see. But I did want to say that there is a big meeting going on at the White House today. Future of crypto legislation, stable coins, yield, tokenization, with major financial firms involved. So this is the second of its kind. Yeah, looking here, we have hosting its second stablecoin meeting. Attendees include Bank of America, JP Morgan, Wells Fargo, along with crypto reps from Coinbase, Circle, and Tether. History for Bitcoin and crypto is being written. So, yeah, big day. I think we'll see what happens there. Just take a quick look back at the market, see if Bitcoin is anything different than it was. Yeah, a little bit of a drop, right? We're down 1.2%, 1.4% overall, 1.2. You can see that little drop there. So yeah, a little bit of a drop. Let's go look at futures real quick, just see how they're doing. Let's pull up the NASDAQ, see if they were pretty flat. It's easy for them to turn colors, turn. Yep. We've seen. We're seeing it turn red 12%. So that's anyway, nothing major yet. Happens. A lot of traders do not trade the first hour of the market. And we have this kind of 10 a.m. sell-off, right? 10 to 11 a.m. sell-off by Americans. It used to be the Chinese back in 1718. We blamed the Chinese for killing the market. Now we're the Jeets. Oh, hey, Wheelie King was listening to yesterday's show. Sorry, this is on live. Yeah, we do it on live on YouTube. So you have to go to the lives to catch it, and then I upload it. It takes half an hour or so after. So welcome, Wheelie King. Appreciate it. My first ever guest for YouTube. I'm pretty new to YouTube, so as far as streaming there, I spend most of my time over on CT Crypto Twitter, as we call it, which of course is now X. So glad you made it here, and started a little late, probably threw you off. My for some reason after I had everything set up, my computer started to glitch a little. I had to restart it. I had no idea. First I thought it was Twitter, but something there. But anyway, welcome, my friend. Welcome. One Wheelie King, man. My most loyal listener on YouTube. So appreciate you, man. And everybody, lots of people over on X, as usual. Michael Saylor was on Squawk Box and just said, look, he's not selling. And, if you know Michael Saylor and you've been around, been listening to my show very long, you know that he's not selling. He's set up to, he doesn't have a traditional margin call. He knows this is going to be volatile. There's no recourse for any of his investors. And a lot of it's equity anyway. So he's not selling. End of the story. I'm not saying he couldn't dump his stock, but that could happen. But there's just been all this FUD around, kind of orchestrated, to be honest with you. Started around mid-July and got really bad towards the fall. I don't think the banks like a newcomer coming along and kicking their butts. But Michael Saylor is not selling. He's buying every week. We report it just about every Monday. I did a little short about it the other night about what those orange dots mean on the weekend. But he buys virtually every week. So he's solid, and he's not going away. As long as he can raise money, he will. He's a huge believer. Heard him speak at Bitcoin in Vegas this last year. It was great. Dude's awesome. Makes you want to run out and sell your house and a kidney and everything after listening to him. He really gets you pumped up. Probably partially why they're having that meeting today. Crazy, saying, was on Maria Bartiromo saying, basically what he's saying is that, Coinbase and a few people are kind of standing against it. Like if they don't get exactly the legislation he feels like Coinbase is getting, a little dogmatic, kind of getting in the way, right? And anyway, that's part of it. But he is going to believe it's going to get settled. Yeah, Satoshi Nakamoto from X. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, he said crazy that this latest buy was around 10,000 more than today's price. Yeah, he bought yesterday. It was at 78,000. Now, realize he's buying in massive chunks. Like 2-3 weeks ago, it's $2.13 billion. Yesterday, my memory doesn't fail me, it was around $90 million. And yeah, he's 10,000. So realize shows you how committed Satoshi shows you how committed he is to the long term. He's not all that worried about today's price. He really isn't. I mean, he started buying sub 10,000 or right around 10,000, which is like 5 years ago, which is crazy to me because it seems like it was a year ago, but he's been doing it for a while. Man, what a vision. The guy has vision. Like he bought a bunch of web domains early on before it was really a thing, right? And held on to, I don't know if it was voice.com or something like that. And it was the highest selling website at all time of or webdomain.com for like 30 or 35 million until the owner of crypto.com bought AI.com for 70 million recently, I think last spring or something. And they launched an AI agent on it at the Super Bowl this year. But yeah, he's got vision and he doesn't believe in I've heard him talk. I've listened, and one thing about him, the dude is so smart. Every time I listen to him, I learn something. I can't say that about very many people, but man, the guy does not believe in diversity. When he feels like he's right, he doesn't get diversity. But he started buying at 10,000. Right now, his average cost is right around now. He might even be a couple of million in the last week. He was like, when we had that big dip, he was like 6 billion upside down. Crazy. Okay. Kind of going through this. Look, this is some news. I don't want you to get fooled on this. This is I'm not going to play the audio because it's a little tricky. When I have more time to play audio, I have to play it in its own separate tab so you guys can hear it and hear me at the same time. So I'll just tell you, watch this. If you see this, don't be fooled by it. If you watch this, don't be fooled by it because this was, clipped up, kind of taken out of context. Basically, Trump says that stake and on Kevin Warsh and everyone's, Trump's backpedaling and all this stuff's coming out. People are misreporting on it. What he says is he made a mistake. He was a runner-up, and not that he feels bad. That when I heard it, I'm like, wow, he's clearly saying he doesn't like Kevin Warsh, right? But what happened is what the story is in his last administration, in his last, before Biden the first time, he was the runner-up. It was between Powell and Warsh. And I guess one of his Treasury secretaries or one of his cabinet was really gung-ho on Powell. So he chose Powell. It turned out to be an absolute nightmare, right? But anyway, so he's talking. So just to bring this back, land this plane, he is talking about his last administration. It was between Powell and Warsh, and he made a mistake. And his mistake was choosing Powell, not Warsh, because he could have been such a different situation. He's very bullish, loves Warsh. Warsh is a big Bitcoin advocate, little more maybe hawkish than who they thought he'd put in, but he's also got to get him past Congress and the Senate and everything, get him in there. So anyway, probably a good balance, but when you see this clip today, don't believe it if they're making it sound like, he doesn't want to have Warsh. He loves Warsh. This was before he made a mistake, and the mistake was Powell. So just to clarify that. Satoshi saying, I don't understand why he doesn't put in limit. Trend right now is super bullish, so I would have thought a lower buy limit would make sense. Yeah, he doesn't care. He's not buying on the market. He doesn't want to signal his buys. He buys OTC. And yeah, he doesn't seem to care so much about it. He really doesn't. But he's not buying on the market. He's buying off the market. I don't know. I wanted to say this. If you saw Robert Kennedy, AOC in here, you know, are you divested of any conflicts of interest? You know, trying to go here and so AOC grilling RFK and said, "Do you own any crypto or Bitcoin?" Oh, crypto. Yeah, I own Bitcoin. So listen, he's cool. He understands it. 2 years ago, I met him, and he was the keynote speaker at Eat Denver. And man, he got up there and did a Q&A and everything for about an hour. I'll tell you, he knows Bitcoin. He understands it. He wasn't just reading talking points, which is what I thought. So shout out to him, man. Very impressed with him. Like I say, this administration is a dream when it comes to it. Sydney Sweeney ringing the bell yesterday on the New York Stock Exchange for American Eagle. Great PR move on them. Brought a lot of attention, obviously. Famously, you know, Sydney Sweeney has good genes commercial, all the controversy. You know what? If you don't bow down to that woke BS, you know, people try to cancel you. I don't know if it was a Ringling Brothers Barnum and Bailey circus. P.T. Barnum famously said, "Say whatever you want, write about whatever you want about me. Just spell my name right," you know? Basically what he's saying is any press is good press. And they've proven that. She didn't react to it. She's like, "Hey, I made a jeans commercial. Chill out." You know, they tried to make such a big deal about it. But man, did it ever have an effect on American Eagle. And here she is ringing the bell. Wow, what a killer PR move. I put her in my thumbnail. I was so excited about it. Obviously, she's just great, very cool, very even kill. The left hates her. You know, these fat, crazy, blue-haired, psychotic women seem to hate her. But I think she's awesome, and I think that was a Chad move by American Eagle, man. And it has affected their stock big time. Oh, I think we already had that. So it must that we already saw that, talked about. He's not selling Bitcoin. From our boys over there at Because Bitcoin, Hyperliquid tops Coinbase in trading volume with 2.6 trillion versus 1.4 trillion. Year-to-date performance diverges by 58.7% as Hyperliquid rises 31.7 and Coinbase falls 27. So basically, you got centralized versus decentralized. Hyperliquid, hype over here on pull it up on the crypto bubbles. It's in the top 100, but just take it easy. Hyperliquid, number 13, you know, do down a little today, but up massively from, you know, and it's down a little now. So maybe a good time to buy, kind of falling with everything else. But Hyperliquid, it's its own blockchain too. But I believe the only thing on it now is this super fast, super cheap, super quick execution, perps exchange, Hyperliquid. So it's beaten out even Coinbase. So that's one to think about. Of course, one of its competitors, which was getting a lot of hype, was, oh gosh, I should know it. Aster. Let's look up Aster. I owned a bunch and it kind of, but it's supported by CZ and stuff, sitting at 65 cents, 1.6 billion. They say they are one of their competitors. And they say they're going to do a blockchain and stuff, but haven't yet. But that's kind of the beta play on Hyperliquid, maybe Aster. But anyway, wanted to bring that up. Hype is a token you should at least check out. Hey, last couple things. We'll move on. Prediction markets, man. Hit 6.26 volume. I use it on this show, all for information. Maybe a lot of people look at it's gambling, but kind of mainstreamed. Call sheet 2.8 billion, Polymarket 1.92 billion. I don't know how we play this. I've heard Polymarket might do an airdrop. Call sheet is blockchain based. I'd love to be able to buy some of these, but anyway, that's a niche that we're definitely talking about. Keep an eye on that. Last but not least, Morgan Stanley has initiated coverage, assigning overweight ratings to Cipher Mining, Terra Wolf, while giving Marathon Digital an underweight rating. Keep an eye on them. At least now we have some coverage, right? That'll tell you something, help you kind of keep your eye. I mean, obviously right now, probably a good time to buy. They're probably undervalued. Sometimes they get below the value of even the Bitcoin they hold. So, yeah, Satoshi Nakamoto talking on Hyperliquid. Yeah, there's a fair bit of stuff on the Hyperliquid EVM, but not much of interest to most. There's nothing really pumped on there. So yeah, definitely a blockchain and a perps exchange. So yeah, thanks for confirming that, Satoshi. I thought that was the case. Haven't really looked into it much, but it is a very fast blockchain. But the main focus is obviously the Hyperliquid. Anyway, with that, look, guys, could be crazy this week. Oh, also, man, government shutdown, 75% chance of a government shutdown this weekend. So that could be a huge bomb. Sorry, should have talked about it a little more. I'll talk about it on tomorrow's show. Thanks, everyone, for joining me. Sorry I got off to a late start with that computer freaking out on me. But feel welcome to jump over and follow me on the GM Bitcoin Morning Show. It's a space over on X. And appreciate everyone. And I'll see everyone tomorrow, man. Have a great day.